right, so
So,
perfect timing. I was going to message you, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, childrens of all ages, this is the writer and director of The Confession, Mr. Will Canon. Will, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
All right, so we literally just finished the film. And when
Nice.
I said I'm gonna shoot Jeff a message or Will a message to let him know what's up. So if anybody has questions on the film and such, let us know in the chat or we'll bring you up. But I'm going to start off with something because I found this interesting. And by the way, for two things with that when I say that is I appreciated that you went with the jump scares and more psychological horror than blood and guts. So was there a reason you went with that? And was that because of being more of a Pied Piper reference in the culture?
Yeah, I think that was yeah, there was definitely it was definitely intentional. Part of it was like it was just more interesting to me to do it psychologically. I thought it lended itself better to the
Oh, so hold on. I'm sorry. Time out. I hit the wrong person because I heard a TV and stuff in the background. Uh, Go ahead. You were saying,
Sorry.
sir.
No worries.
Go.
Yeah, no, it was definitely intentional. I thought the story just made more sense that way. It made more sense sort of psychologically. And then as I was kind of writing it, I didn't feel like it lent itself. The things that were going on weren't things that felt like they weren't real bloody, gory kinds of things. So I just didn't think it fit the story was kind of the main thing.
Okay. And Mr. Wood, I apologize because you had some stuff going in the background, but you are our music or movie trivia guy. So if you can pull up that information I'm about to bring up, please do. But this was in some ways a remake. There was another confession before, correct?
There have been several confess. This wasn't a remake, but there's been several movies that had the same title.
Okay, that's why I was saying, Mr. Wood, if you could, you're usually knowledgeable about that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I guess unless somebody has something, I want to throw this out there. How would you describe the adult version of the reference of the Pied Piper versus the kids version? The
Oh
myth, I
man,
should say.
the myth. And what do you mean, like the adult version, like this version, or like the adult version, like
Well,
the
well,
traditional sort of German version?
yeah, I would go with the German version and such because obviously you tell kids these myths and the stories in one level, but as say even from like teenage on,
Yeah.
you add a little more spice to it. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
age
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's true. I mean, like I have kids. I wouldn't tell my kids, a story about, a guy who comes and plays a flute and leads all the children in the town away because that would freak them out, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I think, I think it's right. I think like, it's whoever you're talking to, whatever age group, you're going to tailor it for that. And, with this story in particular, once I started thinking about it, it just started to feel like, oh man, this is like kind of a children's story, but this is really creepy. That all the kids get led away, and it's a pretty dark story, as a lot of the old kind of fairy tales kind of are. So, and it was something that I hadn't really seen in a film before or in a horror film before, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a creepy thing that could be interesting to do, to make a film that kind of deals with this or kind of delves into this kind of mythology.
Mr. Wood, I just saw your messages. All good. Would you like to ask your question directly, sir?
Yeah, so I was wondering what movies inspired you to make like the movies that you're making like now with the one we just watched.
Great question. What movies inspire? I mean, one of my favorite horror movies is Sinister.
Okay.
I'm a big James Wan fan, so I love Conjuring, Insidious. Um, and then I'm a big thriller fan too. So I love like Michael Mann's movies. One of my favorite movies is The Insider with Al Pacino and Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
So, I like I anything that's um anything that's kind of propulsive and kind of moves, I like. Um,
Those movies really get me. The
yeah,
ones you named,
yeah.
those are some bad ones. Yeah.
The Babadook's another one. If you guys
Mm-mm-mm.
have seen that one, the Babadook's another one that was kind of
Oh,
Ooh.
we
the
looked at for this.
Babadook. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
You're right up my lane. Yep.
Right on.
Now,
Kendra, did you have a question?
had anybody had any and Jonathan, had you seen it or had anybody seen it before tonight, or is this everyone's first time watching
That
it?
was my first.
It was
Yeah,
a first. Yeah, this was the first. Bob, I'm not sure. He'll be back.
cool.
Matthew, did you see this before? I know you were a, or is he hiding, eating his chicken wings? Do we? That was the whole debate first half of the movie. Will I had to call in a buffalo? I had to call in a buffalo chicken wing expert to debunk
What?
that. But
What,
that,
dude? I'm sorry. I was grabbing a
I
beer. What were you saying?
okay. Oh, I was asking, then making fun of your chicken wing debate earlier, first half of the movie. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
was at I we were talking obviously with Will here, the writer director. Did you have any questions based on what you saw tonight?
Oh no, man. I saw the film when it came out. I got to tell you, I think it's a very cool film. And I also liked your other film, Demonic. That
Oh,
was
thank you.
super cool. I watched both these movies when they came out. No, I don't have any questions, but I do have to say you're a good, damn good filmmaker.
Well, thank you.
I've liked both of your pictures.
Thank you. Thanks for checking them out. And I have one more called Brotherhood. If you like the other two,
Oh,
um,
hell yeah.
I have one more called Brotherhood. It's more of a thriller. It's not horror, but it's very much tonally very kind of similar. So I think you dig it too if you dig the other two.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm checking it out.
Thank you.
So
Brotherhood. I'm gonna write that down.
yeah, why you have the notepad earlier while I was giving you notes for other things. But Will, I'm curious to know because I read one of your actresses, and I believe it was your main female actress that mentioned this in an interview when the movie came out,
Yeah.
that she credits the collaborative and close knit relationship that everybody had, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes, with you, your cinematographer, your editors, and such,
Yeah.
that made this project so special. What obviously you have a different perspective. So, what was it about from your eyes that made this work so well?
Well, I mean, I agree with her. I think that's a big part of it. Everybody got along really well. The cast all really got along well. They all hung out like on weekends. Um, so I think that was a big part of it. And then I think just hiring good people, like my cinematographer in particular was great. We like really bonded. We hit it off. We had a lot of the same sort of cultural references and we're about the same age and just, I think it's hiring good people who you like and who you think are talented. And then if hopefully they're also, in addition to being talented, hopefully they're good people and not jerks. And if that's the case, then you got a shot. So, but I agree with her. We all got along really well, and we like Italia, the lead who plays Naomi, who I think is just great in it. She our very first Zoom, we were talking like this. She was in Toronto at the time, and we were talking and we just started joking immediately and she was super sarcastic and she was like, dude, what happened to you? This is such a dark movie. Like, what trauma did you go through to write something like this? And she's just we were just joking around immediately and I could just tell we were gonna get along well together and have that kind of rapport together.
And you know who I actually heard people question director wise on that same front? There
Who's
was this
that?
guy, there was some guy who made his name in the late 70s and early 80s. I believe his name was Wes Craven. That people or like he was they're
Looks
thinking something
familiar.
happened here to you. Yeah, I know,
Mm,
right, John? That name sounds weird, but people would
sounds
go,
familiar.
yeah, like people would go, something happened to you as a
Yeah.
child, but it was the complete, reading the material, but then,
Yeah.
yeah, you get a different person in dealing with.
There's a few people you could say that about, you know? There's a few people.
What was it about Wilmington, North Carolina that made you want to shoot down there?
Yeah, well, the thing that drew us there initially was that they had a tax incentive, which is for just for the economics of the movie is important,
Yeah.
especially right now, you know. So that was sort of why we were looking there. But we looked a bunch of different places, and we ended up there. We went out and scouted it, and just loved the place. Loved the had a, you know those houses just have this great, you know, they're all 100 years old, over 100 years old. They've just got, the woods and the forest, and it's got an ominous feel. And it's funny, actually, on the first trip when I went to scout it, we actually scouted the same house where they shot The Conjuring, the first
Really?
Conjuring house with
Oh,
that's on the poster. Yeah, so it was like, and it was kind of funny because it was like we got out there, it was like 4 o'clock, it was in the winter time, so the sun was going down. It was like a rainy day. So it just had such an ominous feel to it, and you're at this such an iconic house. And I was like staying, I wanted to get as many pictures of it as I could and video, all this kind of stuff. And my producers were a little bit freaked out. They were like, okay, Will, it's time to go. Let's get out of here. It's time to go. So I was like, all right. But they kind of had to drag me away because it was just so fun being there.
Yeah. And I know we're not going that direction, but would you say that about the Conjuring House? It reminds me of a line that Robert Englund told me over a drink or two when he went to Canada to shoot Freddy versus Jason. And
Yeah,
In Vancouver,
like they
yeah.
were they they went to show him one of the locations, and it had to be of the Nightmare House per se. So he gets out of the car and he looks. He goes, and he's kind of like observing the area. He goes in the neighborhood. He goes, "You guys did a hell of a job, like making that look like the one on Genesee Avenue." Not that
yeah.
I'm giving addresses away, but he goes. So they go, Robert, we didn't do a damn thing. This
Yeah.
was this house was. We
This was
didn't
like
do a
this.
damn thing. Yeah, we didn't. The
Yeah,
producer or whoever was showing them out goes, we didn't do a
yeah.
damn thing to this
This
place.
this isn't set dressing and production design. This is
Yeah,
like this. Yeah,
exactly. We
yeah,
saved money. No, but
yeah. So great. That's so
which
great.
he was blown away with. But
Yeah,
I heard you. I was listening to a conversation you did previously. I guess last year when the movie officially came out, and you said something along the lines of horror is a place that you can talk about other things and ideas and stuff. Will,
yeah.
if you know where I'm referencing. So, what were you meaning with that?
I think horror is a place where you can kind of it's like horror is such like it's such a good versus evil, sort of dynamic in horror.
Yeah.
And there's also I think like you can like in this movie they're dealing with sort of we're dealing with kind of generational trauma. You're dealing with parenthood. So many horror films deal with parenthood. What it's like to be a parent. Am I a good parent? Is it hard being a parent? Um there's, what's it like being a child of someone with a abuse issue? I mean, there's just so many things I feel like, I mean, like, think about like Stephen, as each thing I'm saying, like, I'm thinking there's like a Stephen King movie that pops into my head that's like, oh, that's the one where he's dealing with this. That's the one where he's dealing with this. Or Stephen King book, I should say, before the movie. But anyway, so I just think it just lends itself
yeah.
to interesting ideas, and talking about interesting ideas. And other genres do too, but I think horror especially does.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you say that because, like, I know Kendra's a mother, Latrice is a mother, and the other gentleman who's going to be coming back, he's a father. But if you're a parent, Will, and I don't know if you're a father or not,
Yeah.
what scares you with that as a parent?
I am a parent, and anything with my kids, anything happening to your kids, I think probably if we took a vote, we'd probably all agree that we'd rather something happen to us than our kids. It's
Yeah.
the most scary thing to me. And it was why like that's why kind of the ending of the movie was so kind of interesting to me. And I was so um kind of wanted to do it because it was sort of like, well, what's worse than, Harley kind of talks about it, what's worse than all the children going away? Well, what if the parents go away? And the kids are just sort of left to their own devices and they're abandoned, so that was so yeah, that's and I think anything with kids is the scariest thing. And if your kid's having an issue at school or whatever, and you can't help them, or you can't figure out what's causing it, you can't get to the root of the problem. I think that stuff's all kind of scary to me.
Well, was it
I liked
easy?
how
Go
you.
ahead, Kendra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm
Go. What do
sorry,
you got?
Jonathan.
What do you got? Go
I
ahead.
like how you said when you said Stephen King's books,
Yeah.
um, and instead of the movies, because the books are still much better. His books are so much better
Hmm.
than his movies, even though I really love his movies. I always read his books first
Mm.
because um like his books like just um I can't explain it, but like they give so much more.
Yeah.
His books
Yeah.
give so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes so
Descriptive.
it goes so
So
deep in it. Yeah, it goes so deep. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, no, I agree. His books are great, and like you said, there's so much to them that goes so deep. The characters are so rich. Um, yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Well, you can also go deeper
I
with
mean,
books than you can
you
movies.
can't give
Yeah,
that much in a movie.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
Which, Kendra, I'm kind of glad you brought this up because this was where I was going to go with the next question from me anyway. Is
Mm-hmm.
you were the writer and director of this film. Now, normally, some somebody called that son of a bitch that writer. Oh wait, that's me. Never mind. Like if you're trying to figure something out, you go, oh
right,
wait, that son of a bitch, get him on. Oh wait, it was me. Never mind.
right.
I got to figure this out myself.
Who wrote that? Yeah, who wrote this?
Who wrote this garbage? No. But you got it. So was that easier for you? In terms of when you're trying to figure things out in doing the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's sort of like I don't have to go, oh, what was your intention here? I don't have to turn
Yeah.
to somebody else and go, what were you thinking here? What was your intention here? I can. People talk about, oh, I have a writer hat on, I have a director hat on. In a way, it's kind of all the same thing.
Yeah.
I find it easier because I just know what the intentions were. I know why the scene's there. I know why the character's doing this. Yeah, for me, I mean, I like other people's material too. I like other people's scripts too, but it's certainly easier, to your point, to not have to call somebody else and, yeah,
Fire that son of a bitch. No.
yeah,
That guy is fired. No.
yeah,
No. But
totally.
You're fired.
thank you, Donald. Never mind. We won't go there. Non-political show. No. Yeah. I I'm glad I can make her laugh. Yeah, that's my goal, making people laugh at the end of the day. Well, I'm curious to know
Thank
if
you.
you're welcome. You're fired, Kendra. No, I'm curious to know, Will.
Okay.
With your, are you open to suggestions with? And we were just talking a few minutes ago about the tight knit, of the tightness of the group, everybody putting the project together. So, are you open to suggestions with the actors or the cinematographer and other people? Or is things, or you one of those guys as a writer per se, you are what is on the script is Bible? Because you hear people say, the script is gospel, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. I'm I'm usually pretty open, you know. I feel like if an actor comes to me and says, I don't understand this line or I don't understand this dialogue or I'm having trouble with it, I want to know why.
Santa,
You know, I want to know
welcome
why.
home.
And then and with the cinematographer, same thing. You want to, if something doesn't work for somebody, you want to know why it's not
Hi,
working or what's
baby.
going on with it or so
Good
I'm
night.
always open, you know.
Okay. Uh, what entertains you if you're sitting at home? You know, whether you're gonna stream or you're gonna go to a movie or whatever the case is. Is it hard for you? Can you sit back and watch stuff and not judge, or do you find yourself
Yeah.
nitpicking?
I the way I usually judge is very simple. It's just like, am I entertained or not? I don't nitpick, you know, I
Yeah.
don't like that show.
One, two, three, go!
All right, so with the when you're watching the
Sorry.
you're fine. When you are that goes to the parent question earlier that we were talking about. But
Good.
Will, you were saying about, if you're watching something to be entertained, whether it's streaming, you go to a movie,
Yeah.
you're not a nitpicker.
No, I don't nitpick. I want to have fun. I mean, if I go see whatever, a horror film or a comedy or a thriller, I just want to have fun. I want to be entertained. If it's dark, I want to be scared. I want like, I'll be sitting on the couch and watch, like a lot of times it'll be like a true crime thing or something. And I know it's working when I look
Yeah.
over at my front door to make sure it's locked.
Hmm.
I'll be like,
Yes.
okay, this thing's working because I'm checking the locks, you know? So you
Which
just want that kind of
Yeah.
visceral reaction, no matter what it is. If it's supposed to be funny, you want to laugh. If it's supposed to scare you, you want to check the locks. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
which direction do you
Yes, yes,
usually
yes.
which direction do you usually go, Will, in terms of your entertainment dollar? Are you a true crime person, like you said? Are you horror, comedy? Where do
More,
you usually go?
I go dark. I go mostly darker stuff. Mostly horror, horror,
Same.
true crime. Usually, if I want to check out, I'll put on a comedy too. But yeah, usually the stuff I see. A lot of stuff I see is kid stuff because I have kids. But if it's for me and we're not going to see, Hoppers, then
Hopper was good. I
yeah,
took my niece and
yeah, it was fun.
I took my niece and nephew to see that. That
Yeah,
movie was good.
it was
So
fun. It was funny. I
nothing
saw it.
against Disney. Yeah.
I took my daughter, and we were the only ones in the theater, so we had like the whole
Oh,
place. We had the it was like
yeah,
we had the whole
been
place to
there.
ourselves, so that was kind of fun. So.
But what do you got coming up next, sir?
So I had this I had this like crazy experience at the end of this movie trying to get home.
Okay.
And I ended up my flight got canceled. I had to travel to another city to catch my flight. And I ended up at this hotel that was like the last hotel you ever want to end up in.
Oh
And it
boy.
Oh
inspired when
no.
I was done shooting a horror film, it inspired another horror film. So I just finished that script and I'm taking
Holy
it out
crap.
to try to put it together right now.
So we're working more of a hard.
That's
All
right.
right. I
Oh
I don't
no.
want to spoil this
Oh
script because you're
no.
putting it together. Are we thinking something along the lines of like a let's say Texas Chainsaw, or are we thinking House of a Thousand Corpses, like a Rob Zombie theme? Which direction do you think this went?
It's more like an action horror movie. So it's more
Ooh,
like it's like crazy pace, fast paced, um, almost like a John Wick or something, but horror. You know, if
interesting.
if anybody's seen my first, it doesn't sound like you guys have seen my first movie, Brotherhood, but my Brotherhood was like crazy fast paced, almost like a Bourne movie, like boom, 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 boom. So it's that with like a horror element coming at this guy as he's trying to
Ooh,
survive.
okay.
That
Yeah, I think it's
sounds.
gonna be really fun.
I like it. I like it
Yeah.
already.
Wow.
So, obvious question. I tried to look, but I didn't see anything. are you on social media at all, Will, or where can
I
people find
am.
you?
Yeah. You can find I'm on social media, and the confession also is on social media. Will Canon, at Will Canon for Instagram, and then I think I'm on Instagram and Facebook both. So if you look me up, I
Okay,
should pop up.
right
So
on.
yeah,
Will, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to chat and keep me posted. I'll definitely have to do a regular episode with you. I
yeah.
appreciate you taking some time to talk to us
This
tonight.
was great. Thank you guys for having me, and thanks for checking out the movie. And if you dug it, please tell your friends, spread the word.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank,
Thanks
Have
thank
a
you
good
for
Awesome.
night,
being here,
guys.
Thank you,
Will.
Thank
Will.
you
It was nice
guys.
talking to you.
Same. Nice
Good
talking to you
night.
guys.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.